Mexico is considering closing its border to stop Americans bringing coronavirus into its country as U.S. case count passes 2,000.
Here's a summary of the article.
For once, the conversation over closing the U.S.-Mexico border is being driven by Mexican health officials who say they are considering shutting out Americans to keep coronavirus out of their country. Trump has said little on the subject of coronavirus in Mexico. Unlike several Latin American countries, Mexico has yet to take measures such as closing schools or banning entry to people coming from places with high numbers of coronavirus cases. On Friday, Trump tweeted, "To this point, and because we have had a very strong border policy, we have had 40 deaths related to coronavirus." The president will answer questions at the 3 p.m. presser as the House prepares to vote on a coronavirus package. The stock market tries to recover from its worst day since the 1987 economic recession, and schools across the country have closed out of fears of spreading the virus. The president announced the press conference after reports out of Brazil said the Bolsonaro tested positive for coronavirus. A second test that came back on Friday showed the president tested negative, according to a statement on Bolsonaro's official Facebook page, which is adding to the questions and confusion.
This post received a score of 130,183, with an upvote ratio of 91%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
I'm convinced we entered the Twilight Zone January 1, 2020. Edit, a word.
Go back a few years. World has been fucking strange, starting early 2012. Also a weird coincidence that's when most users, over 50%, got on the internet through a smartphone, not laptops, desktops as had been the case every year before 2012. Really took off since 2016.
The printing press was a more major disruption to socio-political and economic traditions that had been in place for centuries. Revolutions almost all over the world, a fundamental reordering of society. The impact of the Internet has to be somewhat similar to that in terms of change impact to our way of life.
Holy shit. I've never made this connection. We're in the middle of a socio-economic reordering, and didn't even realize it.
What if? I'd love to dive into the socio-economic effects of the printing press and to ponder the potential future. History doesn't repeat itself, but it tends to rhyme. Well, printing propaganda and misinformation took off, that rhymes.
Propaganda and misinformation been taking off though. It appears the easier it is to spread the truth, the easier it is to spread false information as well. One can hope that if technology stops changing the game every few years, we can get around to cutting down on the BS.
Reverse Uno card LMAO.
So who gets the +4 card?
Shaman.
I mean, it's not like people are burning the TP on the lawn. People are going to take months to go through these stockpiles. Their Q1 results will be great, but Q2 will suck.
Unless they're smart about it and lower their productions in Q2 and possibly Q3 to keep the COGS down.
That just means their expenses for the quarter are reduced, but it's still against reduced revenue. Their revenue takes a hit either way.
But if the market rightly expects revenues to be decreased, they could still hit expected revenue, which is a big part of the market's opinion of their stock price.
Yes, if they're smart, they can project a lower revenue quarter, and then when they hit it they can claim how prophetic they were.
Are we really concerned about Charman's EPS for the year?
Earnings per square.
How quickly do you think this would go into effect? I have to be in Tijuana for a dentist appointment tomorrow.
Reminds me of the movie Day After Tomorrow. Americans are trying to enter Mexico and are turned away by the Mexican army.
Their calculations were wrong. It was actually 2 days before the day after tomorrow.
Oh my god, that's today.
Son of a
Sonora.
Weird way to get them to pay for a wall. Strange flex Trump.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.